Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil, and I just want to give you my thoughts after Michigan's 42-27 victory over Ohio State. And I just can't believe I'm even saying that. Michigan won 42-27. It's just crazy. I mean, just to even do that, I mean, it's almost mind-blowing because the suffering, quote-unquote suffering, as a fan for 10 years. It's been 10 years. I was 30 the last time Michigan won the game. And it's just crazy that it happened. Michigan went in and fought the best offensive Ohio State team I can remember. I mean, they were even better than the 2019 team stats-wise. And it's just crazy how Michigan was able to win this game. I mean, the first half was classic first half of the game. It's even when Michigan has been blown out in those games, the last two times they've played, it's been a tight first half. And usually Michigan's trailing. In fact, it was the first time Michigan was leading at halftime since 2016, I believe it was, when they led 10-7, the double overtime game. But, Michigan's usually in the game, and then the adjustments at halftime are what decide the game. That's what's happened the last two times when Ohio State's just obliterated Michigan, right? They've been somewhat close games, right? Not blowouts yet. And then the second half, Ohio State just, puts the pedal to the metal and just blows Michigan out. And today it was different. And I just got to give total props to the scheme by new defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald. He brought in the scheme is an NFL caliber scheme, right, where you play more safeties, you force the team to go down the field on you over, lots of short passes, and you just, hold them in the red zone. And that's the difference of the game, really. You look at it, Michigan held Ohio State to 2 field goals instead of touchdowns. And, Ohio State gets 8 more points there. It's a one-score game, and they got the ball at the end of the game. And, it might be different, and that's the difference there, is Michigan was able to force field goals, and Michigan did not settle for any field goals. They had 6 touchdown drives, no field goals. The only exception was the Cade McNamara pick when Michigan had all the momentum, and I'm not sure where Cade was looking on that throw, into double coverage behind Wilson, and the safety read it and just picked it off. Good play for them. This game was just a classic rivalry game, and I was really hoping this game would get back to the rivalry-ness of it, where even when one team is a lot better than the other, the rivalry gets the teams to kind of level out, if you will. And we didn't see that the last couple years when the complete blowouts, Don Brown's system of attack and leaving everyone on islands was, slaughtered by Ryan Day's, speed and his crossing routes and all that. This is credit to them for dominating those games. Michigan changed it up. They got rid of Brown. They got McDonald. So that defense, you're not going to stop Ohio State. Stroud is too good and unbelievable. Those wide receivers, those wonderful catches. I mean, my word. The defenders are on them and covering them, and they're just bringing the balls in, man. It's crazy how good those wide receivers were today. So props to Ohio State, man. You got talent there. My word. Crazy what those wide receivers were catching. But Michigan, second half, they led 14-13, and it's just props to the scheme, the running. And Ohio State did not stop the running, and Michigan just started getting big chunk plays in the run game. And we saw a couple end-around type ones to the wide receivers in the first touchdown drive. We saw a flea flicker on I think it was the opening drive of the second half, maybe it was the second drive. But Michigan was just going for it. And, they had, I think it was 4 possessions before the kneel down, and the Michigan got 4 touchdowns in the second half. They were not stopped. They got touchdowns on every drive in the second half. And that's just what you needed. And when Michigan got up by 15, and Ohio State cut it down 28-20, I think it was. And is this going to be Michigan State again? Is Michigan going to just go into a shell and try to, hold on to the lead? No, they kept going for the win. And that was just the difference. And this offensive line just started manhandling Ohio State. And you're getting 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. Then you're breaking first down runs for 15, 20 yards. It's wow. This is like just crazy. I did not think Michigan would do this against Ohio State. I didn't. In my mind, in my heart of hearts, I thought Ohio State would win this game. I was hoping it would be a close game in the fourth quarter and maybe Michigan could get some, bounce here or there and make the play and get the win. But man, just the Michigan, the way they dominated, I wouldn't say dominated, just the way they controlled the game. They were able to run the ball. And when they had to make a pass, Cade made throws, man. 13 of 19, I think it was. Michigan hit 9 different receivers, caught passes. So just spreading the ball around. After that pick, he settled in. He made some great deep throws. It was a really nice one to to Johnson to set up, I think, the second touchdown there. Cade, man, just rock solid. Gotta love it. He recovered from that pick. Gotta give total props to the offensive line, too. No sacks. Ohio State had no sacks in the game. They kept Cade pretty clean, right? There was sometimes he got pressured, and the pressure messes with quarterbacks. You saw that with Michigan. Michigan got pressure on Stroud. Hutchinson, cemented his legacy, right? He came back to win this game. He came back to beat Ohio State, to win the Big Ten East, and hopefully to win the Big Ten overall. And 3 sacks for him. Ajabo got a huge sack on 3rd down when Ohio State was trying to still stay in the game. Got a huge sack there to force a long 4th down. You needed those plays, but Ohio State was not going to give up. It was crazy how good their offense was, man. 3rd and longs, 4th and 7s, whatever. They were picking them up like nothing, man. Ugh. And it's just crazy that Michigan won that game because Ohio State played really well offensively. And that was the question. Would Michigan be able to keep up with Ohio State? And they did. So it's just surprising to me. It's crazy. Just the stats. Haskins, 28 carries for 169 yards and 5 touchdowns. I know the last one, don't get me wrong. It still counts. But Ohio State let them score that so they could try to get the ball back because they knew they were going to have to get the ball 2 times, so they just let them score. But still, 4 touchdowns before that, and when Ohio State knew we were running the ball, Michigan was going to run the ball, trying to run out the clock, still were able to run, get yards, get big yards on 1st down, get 1st down runs on 1st down. It's man, that's why you kind of saved Haskins, I really think. He didn't get a lot of carries in the early games. It was more Corum, because you knew you needed that kind of a bruising back in these November games. At Penn State, he had 150-some yards without Corum available. Today, 169 yards. Corum came back. He busted a nice 55-yard run. Hopefully his ankle's not too bad. He kind of got that a little sore again after that 55-yard run. Hopefully he'll be available for the game next week in Indianapolis. Oh, man, what a game. What a game. Just crazy. When the 4th down was completed, was stopped short, and the game was in hand. I just couldn't believe it. I did like an Urban Meyer there at the double overtime where I just kind of collapsed on the ground. I couldn't believe that it was over, that Michigan had won. And I totally, I never try to be too much of a homer or anything. And I got a lot of comments when I do these videos about Ohio State from Ohio State fans. And, don't get me wrong, you always want to win the games, but hopefully this will make the rivalry better. Right? This was a great game. Both teams played really well. You had the fire, you had the intensity, you had some extracurricular stuff happening. And that's what fans really kind of get off on in this game, right? And it's fun and nothing, it's good that this happened, in my mind. We want this game to be more of a rivalry. And I know, Ohio State would love to just own it, but this is only good for the game to have Michigan win. I'm not saying Michigan's going to start winning all the time. Ohio State's still a stinking juggernaut. So much talent. Stroud is coming back. I don't know how many of those wide receivers are coming back. Henderson, the running back, is going to be coming back. It's crazy all the talent they have. But for this game, Michigan was able to overcome it. You saw, again, just Hutchinson came back for this game to win this game. And just the scene, I loved how Fox stuck with the post game and kept showing the crowd and the excitement, and it meant so much. Number 2 versus number 5, and again, it had been 10 years since Michigan had won this game. Michigan had a few games in there where it was close in the 4th quarter, and Michigan would blow it somehow, and you wondered, in the back of my mind, I'm a Michigan fan, I'm like, is Michigan going to blow this game somehow? And they didn't. They learned from the Michigan State game. They kept their foot on the pedal. They kept going. And man, I'm so happy for the players, all those seniors who finally get the win versus Ohio State. And, you know, it's just crazy. And if you would ask, this is insane, that Michigan, at the beginning of the year, when many prognosticators thought they would both 6 wins, maybe 7, maybe 8 was the top of the ceiling. They're 11-1 and going to the Big Ten title game. Just wow. And you know, I'm hopeful. Right? I'm hopeful because there were lots of big-time recruits at this game, and what an atmosphere. I totally got to give props to the atmosphere by the crowd. They turned this into a home game. So often it's been so much red in the stands because Michigan fans would sell their tickets and Ohio State would buy them. And of course, they were still red. Ohio State fans were there, don't get me wrong, but the atmosphere, the fans caused so many false starts. There was a home field advantage. What a great job by the 111,000 fans. How many of them were Michigan fans? I don't know. But man, it was actually a home field advantage. That's my biggest worry, was that so many Michigan fans just sell these tickets, or Ohio State bought the ticket packages from MGO Blue. You had to buy 3 tickets, like, 2 meaningless games and this game. Then you could get Ohio State. That's what my brother and a friend did. They went to all the games, but Ohio State fans would just forget about the other 2 games, maybe sell them, whatever, and go to this game. And man, it was great to have a home field advantage in this, and it really paid off. 10 penalties, I think, for 60 yards against Ohio State. Michigan only had 2 of 20. Michigan, when they made their mistakes, it weren't critical mistakes. They overcame them. And that's just something that speaks of this team, speaks of the coaching staff, and what can you say? Michigan wins the game, 42-27. My throat's so sore. I love it. What do you guys take away from this game? Please put the comments below. I know this is a long video, but it's been 10 years in the making to have this game go this way. What joy. I love seeing the players' reaction. I love seeing the fans on the field. I love the exuberance. It was just great, man. And, well, it's just what a game. What a game. Hey, I know I'm just kind of rambling, but I really do appreciate you guys watching. Again, if you have any comments, please put them in the box below. I'll try to respond as I'm able to. And hit that subscribe button, please. I appreciate that. Always encourages me to make more of these videos. Until I see you guys next time, go Blue!